Good day, everyone. Here we go again. I am Teacher Sheila, and you are at your English Hub. Directions. Identify if the sentence uses reflexive or intensive pronoun. As I have discussed last meeting, that when we say intensive and reflexive pronouns, these are pronouns ending in self or selves, though they are the same in form, but they function differently in the sentence. And that will be our discussion for today. In this activity, we will learn how to identify the given pronoun in the sentence ending in self or selves as a reflexive or intensive pronouns. So I have 10 sentences here. And each sentence, you can see that there are words, okay? There are pronouns here ending in self or selves. Intensive pronouns are used to emphasize another noun or pronoun. That means that they do not need to refer back to the subject. Is it clear? So when we say intensive pronouns, it doesn't refer back to the subject in the sentence. Unlike reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns refer back, or a reflexive pronoun refers back to the subject in the sentence. Since it is used for emphasis, okay, so that's the function of an intensive pronoun. It is used to give emphasis to a noun in the given sentence, to a noun or a pronoun in the sentence. Since it is used for emphasis, it is not necessary to the sentence. Meaning, when we say it is not necessary to the sentence, we can remove this intensive pronoun without affecting the essence or the message of the sentence. It can be taken out of the sentence or from the sentence, and the sentence would still make sense. Okay? Now, let us have examples for this reflexive and intensive pronoun. We have here for reflexive pronoun, we have, I made myself a sandwich. Okay? So the underlined word here ending in self is myself. Okay, this one. Why is it a reflexive pronoun? Why is it a reflexive pronoun? Okay, if you're going to look at the word before the word myself, what part of speech is it? Made. We have made. Okay, made is a verb. Okay, I made myself a sandwich. So that's a point. A reflexive pronoun or a pronoun ending in self or selves used in the sentence is a reflexive pronoun when it is preceded. Okay, preceded by a verb. Meaning when we say preceded by, the word before it is a verb. Okay? Who made the sandwich? Another thing is, who made the sandwich? It's I. Okay? So it refers back to the subject, I. That is why myself here is a reflexive pronoun. Next, let us have sample sentence number 2. My sister and I bought ourselves popcorn at the movie. The underlined pronoun here ending in selves is ourselves. Look at the first thing that you're going to do in order to identify correctly if it's reflexive or intensive is look at the word before it. If the word before it is a verb, what? It's an action word. Okay? If it's a verb, meaning that pronoun ending in self or selves is a reflexive pronoun. Okay? Another explanation is ourselves here is referring to my sister and I. It refers back to the subject, my sister and I. Let us proceed with the intensive pronoun. Example, I made a sandwich for the president himself. Again, as what I have mentioned before, when we say intensive pronoun, it gives an emphasis to to a noun or a pronoun in the sentence. It may refer to any old pronouns or nouns in the sentence. The root word for the word intensive is intense, meaning the main function of an intensive pronoun is to give an emphasis or intense emphasis to the noun or pronoun, to the particular noun or pronoun in the sentence. Let us have the sample sentence. I made a sandwich for the president himself. Look at the word before the word himself, before the underlined word himself. What is it? It's preceded. Okay, so what part of speech is preceded? It's a noun. Okay, here's the tip for identifying an intensive pronoun. If the reflexive pronoun is preceded by a verb, an intensive pronoun is preceded by a noun or another pronoun. Okay, since the president or president is a noun, therefore, himself here is an intensive pronoun. Another thing is, himself here gives emphasis to the president. Next example, my sister herself paid for my popcorn. The underlined pronoun ending in self is herself. And it is an intensive pronoun. Why? Again, it is preceded by a noun, sister, and it gives emphasis to the word sister here. Okay? Who paid the popcorn? It's my sister herself. Let us go back to the activity that we have. Identify if the sentence uses reflexive or intensive pronoun. Let us have number 1. Babies soon feed themselves. Okay, so we have themselves here. Okay, themselves. Is it an intensive or a reflexive pronoun? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Themselves there is what kind of pronoun? Is it reflexive or intensive? Look at the word before it. It's feed. What part of speech is feed? It's a verb. And themselves here refers whom? It refers back to the subject, babies. Who feed themselves? It's the babies. Therefore, themselves here is what? A reflexive pronoun. Next, number 2. I sauteed the mushrooms myself. The pronoun ending in self here is myself. Okay, what is it? Is it a reflexive or intensive pronoun? Does it give emphasis or does it refers back to the subject? What is the antecedent of myself here? Who did the action? It's I. Is it clear? So myself refers back to the subject I. Therefore, myself here is a reflexive pronoun. Again, it's a reflexive pronoun. Number 3. The president himself admitted that he was wrong. The pronoun ending in self is himself. Is it intensive or reflexive pronoun? In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Himself there is what? It's an intensive pronoun. Why intensive pronoun? It gives emphasis to the president. Okay, who admitted that he was wrong? It's the president himself. Okay, intensive pronoun. It is a noun. Next, we watched ourselves on the TV monitor. What is the pronoun here ending in selves? It's ourselves. Now, is it a reflexive or an intensive pronoun? In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The correct answer is, it's a reflexive pronoun. Why reflexive pronoun? It is preceded by the word watched, okay, which is a verb, and it refers back to the subject we. Next, number 5. Daedalus himself was then tried at the Areopagus. Okay, himself. intensive or reflexive? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Himself there is, very good, it's an intensive pronoun. Why intensive pronoun? It is giving an emphasis to Daedalus himself. It's Daedalus himself who was tried at the Areopagus. Let us have number 6. Next sentence. He fled himself to the island of Crete. Himself there is intensive or reflexive. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Himself there is a reflexive pronoun. Why reflexive pronoun? It is preceded by a verb and it refers back to the subject he. Okay? Next sentence. The statues he carved himself were so exquisite. Intensive or reflexive? Himself. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Himself there is, again, a reflexive pronoun. Number 8 sentence. Theseus succeeded and escaped Crete with Ariadne herself. Okay, herself. Intensive or reflexive? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Herself there is an intensive pronoun. Okay, it is giving emphasis to Ariadne. Okay, who, what? Escaped with Theseus, or Theseus. Games itself were being held at Larissa. Itself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is it an intensive or reflexive pronoun? Itself here is an intensive pronoun. Okay, giving emphasis or intense to the word games, to the noun games. 10. King Acrisius received a dreadful oracle from a priestess herself. It's very obvious. It is preceded by the word priestess, which is a noun. Therefore, it's an intensive pronoun. Okay, it gives emphasis to the word priestess. To wrap up this discussion, so we can say that a particular word ending in self or selves in a sentence, used in a sentence, is a reflexive pronoun when it is preceded by a verb and when it refers back to the subject in the sentence. And it's an intensive pronoun when it gives emphasis to a noun or pronoun in the sentence. And if it is preceded by a noun or a pronoun. That's all for today. I hope once again that you have learned something from this session. Thank you, God bless, and bye-bye!